Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. Welcome to Sunday. I guess you've been here all day, but we're excited to be here. It's nice to do the thing, and I'm just happy to play this game and see all your lovely faces and little chat names and little blurbs here and
It
there.
has been Sunday all day too.
It has been Sunday all day, but it's officially Sunday now.
It is.
Yeah, that's why we had 5 weeks of no Sundays. It was weird. It's just 6-day weeks all around.
You'd think it would go quicker, but it didn't.
Nope, no. Everybody, I'm Josh from JnJ Tabletop. With me, as always, is my favorite group of people in the whole wide world. We have Evan at It's Evbo, Michael at Mr. Yoda_I_am, Izzee, and Jay and Jake, also known as Jake, also known as the artist formerly known as Obi-Wan Jacoby.
That's true.
There were a lot of different variations of that too, if you remember.
Yeah, because it was like the
real
Twitch
ones
thing.
will know.
It's like the Twitch thing where like somebody has your name and then you look at it and you've been streaming for years and they stream once a year and they have like 12 followers and you're like, Twitch, can I do something about this? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. That's it.
That's it.
That's the story.
But everybody,
Great story.
if you're listening on one of those podcasting things out there, if you're listening just to audio only, you already got everybody's tag, plus just at JnJ Tabletop. Drop us all follows, and if you're watching, you can see actually right at this very moment, not anymore, but previously, it had our Twitters up there. Now it has our Twitch handles up there. So if you like what we're doing, if you're having fun here, drop us a follow, because then, we could just talk all the time. It doesn't have to be only Sundays.
I like that.
So everybody knows Ancient Relics, Hokey Religions. It's a part of Rare Drop Roleplay. Rare Drop Roleplay is Rare Drop just doing the D&D thing. They're just playing TTRPGs and having a blast. And if you want to find out more about that, you go to the Rare Drop Roleplay YouTube. You could check out the Rare Drop Roleplay podcast. You can go to raredrop.co, and you could check out the Tuesday game, which is Reckoning Hour, hosted by Captain Robert. And it's a lot of fun stuff going on there. So let's see. If you want to catch up on past episodes, you could also do what I just said. Go to podcasts, wherever you find podcasts, Rare Drop Roleplay, and this one will be the one titled Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. The other game titled what I just said before. Also, we have a playlist on our YouTube channel that has all the episodes on there. So if you go to youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop, you'll find the things, and you can conveniently find all of those things by doing what Jake just did, which is !JnJ in chat. Find our link tree. There you can get our Discord and all of the other socials and content. So JnJ Tabletop, a little thing that Jake and I do with help from our friends, mostly our friends that you see right in front of your faces right now on your screens. Every week, we will post some sort of video about how to play this game, or any just fun, crazy ideas, wacky ideas that we had. This week, the video that we did was an expanded spell list for sorcerers. And that's something that Jake really spent a lot of time on. I don't know if he spent a lot of time on it, but Jake is the one who made those lists. So if you have a problem with it, go to him.
Yeah, let me know.
But he made all those lists basically just to add to that class and make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more crazy,
Yeah, it brings it in line with like what Tasha's Cauldron of Everything did with the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer and the Clockwork Soul. They get expanded spells, so why don't the other ones? That just seems like it's not fair. So I did that. You can use it, you can change it, you can hate it, you can love it. Just say hello. And
yeah,
it's great. Hey, Evan.
Let's see. There's something else I wanted to say before we did this here thing. can't really remember what it is. I guess before we do that, just while I'm speaking right now, do you hear my fan, or are we all good?
I think we're fine.
All right, perfect. So, without further ado, Mr. Jacoby,
Yes.
Mr. Tabletop,
Yes.
do you have a lesson for us today? Do you have something
Of
that
course.
you could just like a little quick little tidbit that you could give us that's just gonna enrich our games and just make life at the table so much better?
I sure do.
What do you have for us today?
So, okay, a lot of times, whether you're new to this game or maybe you've been playing for a long time, it can be very easy to fall into the trap of creating what I guess you could call a problem character. So I have a few tips on things that you can do to, to include in the character building process, a couple of things to avoid in that process, and that's going to be able to make sure that whatever character you put together is pretty much guaranteed to succeed and fit in with whatever party you're going to have. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with backgrounds, which is actually going to be the video that JnJ Tabletop is going to release this week. A little extra in-depth look at backgrounds and why they're so important. But the biggest things I think you need to answer when you're putting together your background for your characters is just answer these two questions. How did you become the class that you chose? Like, why are you that class? And then why are you an adventurer, or why will you go on an adventure? If you can answer those two questions, the rest of it kind of can just fall into line, and you'll be just fine as far as like background information. And then also, I would recommend having a thing or two that is precious to your character. It is okay to have a family, even if some point later down the line the DM uses them to manipulate you, because this is a storytelling game and we like to tell stories, and I just think the orphan who has nothing to them and has nothing to lose, I don't know, sometimes if the stakes don't matter, then neither does the story.
But also, DMs out there, just because someone has something that's precious to them doesn't mean you have the right to take it away from them every single time. Because people like you are probably the reason why so many players are just that orphan that has nothing that they care about aside from just the thrill of adventure.
Yep.
So you need to have some trust and respect both ways.
And that's not to say that some of these rules can't be bent or even broken outright. These are just guidelines that are going to make sure that the character you put together will work. And then also, I like to just add a quirk of some kind, just because that's fun. People have quirks. People do weird things. A few things to avoid. I think it's good to avoid lone wolf syndrome. It's very, very common to be the war orphan who doesn't trust anybody and they do things on their own. And if you want to lean into that a little bit, maybe that's okay, but don't go so hard that you're like, I'm not going to go on this adventure because I don't work with people. At the end of the day, it's a game, and the DM put together an adventure for everybody to go on. So it's important to, when you use the phrase, I'm just role-playing my character, you should use that to explain actions, not justify actions. So if you're wondering what the difference is on that, just like, Obi-Wan says, perhaps you should go home and rethink your life. I don't know. Anyways, things to avoid. Being a jerk, or at least playing one. I think that's probably something you should avoid. I mean, all evil campaigns can be a lot of fun, but everybody has to be on board with that idea before that's going to work. Depending on the tone that's set at your table, you really got to make sure that that's okay. And like I said before, I would avoid a character that doesn't have any flaws, because it is a storytelling game and life isn't perfect, people aren't perfect, and that's what makes a story intriguing. Some final thoughts. This is one that Josh said. The most interesting thing that has happened to your character probably should not have happened yet. That's what the adventure is supposed to be. I mean, maybe if you're playing a level 20 character, that could be different, but odds are you're playing a character that's either level 1 to 3 when you're starting off, and it should only get more interesting from there. The other thing is that whatever adventure hook that the DM does present to you, make sure you bite that hook and go on that adventure. And then when in doubt, ask your DM if you have a question, if your idea or concept for your character will work or not for the game that they've put together. And that's kind of all that I have. But I'm also not the only person here. We have lovely human beings. I'm just going to assume you're all human beings. Nope, Evan's not. Yes, okay. Okay, so based on those things that we just said, is there any other tips or tricks or things you think about when you make a character that you feel like you're pretty sure that that's going to fit into whatever game you're going to? So I'm going to throw it to Michael first and see what he thinks.
The first thing that I would probably say is that you don't have to have everything in your character figured out. You know, that's something that you're going to grow into and that you'll learn as you play the character. You'll feel what they should do or say just by playing them. And if you try to like, I with my first character, I was so worried because I was just like, you know, oh, do I need to have all this stuff memorized and figured out? Like, what if I don't remember this or something of that nature? It's like, it's more about feeling the character and just getting into the character than it is memorizing or having everything written out. Like, not that you can't have a detailed backstory, but that if you don't have everything fleshed out with it, you're gonna grow as you play.
It's perfect. You know, even just in this example for our game, like I had the story of how Vale left the glass blades, but I didn't really flesh out any details of that until Josh talked about Baron's Eve, and I was like, oh, let me think about that a little more. So it could be like a process. It doesn't have to be like you just said. It's very good. All right, Evan, do you have anything that you would like to share?
You and Michael both kind of stole my thing, which was that you don't have to have everything figured out and to talk to the DM. So yeah, I mean, I would just reiterate that like my character Echo is more fleshed out than probably any other character I've ever had, and that's because I worked with you guys on building the character, and it was a lot of tables, which let's say that's another one. If you want like ways to build out a good character, use tables. There's lots of good content on JnJ Tabletop's YouTube channel about using tables and how great they are.
It's a great intro on that one too.
I mean, you know, it's pretty dope. But yeah, that's really all I have. Just reiterating what you guys already said. You nailed it.
Awesome. All right, Izzee. Here it is. Your moment is here.
Could you repeat the question, please?
So what kind of tips or any thoughts on just the character building process and making a character that you're really confident is going to fit in at the table, so you're not like wasting your time putting something together?
So I mean, the thing that I want to say, I don't know if it necessarily will always apply, but I think making a character that's someone that you can relate to, or someone that like a feeling or emotion that you wanted to be able to play out, because chances are you're playing with friends that you know, so you know their character. So I don't know, it's a fantasy roleplay game, so getting to explore other parts of yourself through the game.
I think that's great. At the core of that, make sure you pick something that's fun.
Yes.
Right? That's like at the core of what you were saying.
Yep.
And then I'll just throw it back to you, Josh, whether you want to add to that or move on.
Sure. I mean, you mentioned backgrounds right at the beginning, right? I said lean into that and combine that with what Evan said, and also another point that you made is when you have a background that should be important. Talk to the DM about how you could make that important and how you could really let that background tie you into the setting. Like, okay, I don't know, maybe you have like the soldier background. Okay, what sort of military could I have been a part of? Was it like a mercenary group? Like, how would that make sense? How could we tie that in? And why am I not a part of that anymore? That's going to help you feel connected to the world, and that's going to help your DM give you adventure hooks and also throw in just little like little Easter eggs and stuff from your background. And for me, I get excited when that kind of stuff pops back up, and I get to just, you know, suddenly this thing that, like I said in my background on session 0, and I haven't had to think about since then, like, you know, I rolled that I had an ally or someone I fought alongside, and now suddenly I'm face to face with that person, face to face with a rival from my background or something like that. Work with your DM in a session 0 or after the session 0 or whatever. Talk to your DM about how you could get your character connected to the story, or really just the world, and that's just going to make everything a lot more fun.
Awesome. I love
And your
it.
DM's going to want to do that.
Yes.
If you want to get more invested in this in the world that your DM is creating, they're going to be excited about that. And if they're not excited about that, they probably shouldn't be DMing.
There it is. But yeah, I think that's it. We have the video that we made. Actually, it's an older video of ours. Command lesson in chat. I know Josh used it earlier, but just
Love the intro from that one.
that was a good one. Yeah, you'll have to watch it. So yes, that is our lesson today on making characters that will fit into pretty much any game you're gonna sit at. So Joshua, I think we should tell people that are watching, and whether they're watching on podcast or live, to make sure if you find a moment that you think is relevant, funny, maybe it's just poignant, maybe it's like, ooh, that seems like a key scene, whatever it could be, clip it. Make the editors at Rare Drop happy and clip it. Clip it.
Yep, absolutely. In the words of Joey Gladstone from Full House, right? Full House, yeah. If you find something that
Yes,
you
sir.
like, just cut it out. You know, just do that. Do that for us, okay?
Agreed.
So, I think that's everything. Before we continue on, anyone have any projects going on or anything exciting that you have seen and thought was cool or whatever that you want to just shout out there into the multiverse? Or
I've just said, just anything we do at JnJ gets me excited. I'm a little
agreed.
very passionate
Agreed.
about this game.
For whatever reason, you mentioning J&J made me think of this, but if you don't already know, was it D&D Live? Is that what it's called? I think it's called D&D Live. That was this past week. So we had some announcements for new books. Strixhaven, which was announced a couple weeks ago, we already know about. That's coming
Yes.
out in November. Then we have the Feywild campaign, which is forget what it's called, the Witch Beyond Witchlight, something like that, something like
sounds
along
right.
those lines. Coming out in September, and then I believe in October. They just announced this one yesterday. We have a book about dragons. So it's
Tisbin's
gonna,
Treasury.
yeah. So they didn't want to call it the Draconomicon, I guess, which is what it's been called across like every other edition. But we have dragon subclasses for the monk and for the ranger. So Echo's favorite and my favorite. Gem dragons, all sorts of new fun stuff. So stay tuned on that. I'm sure J&J will be talking about more of that stuff in detail when it happens. But that's the only other thing we haven't mentioned yet that I thought was worth mentioning. So without further ado, let's talk about what happened last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. So we had our adventurers who they wanted to go to Bysius Teal, back to the home and the place where Echo became Echo, and Echo trained and has friends and potentially family. On their way there, they ran into Vale's family. Decided to go back to Uthodurn so that they could travel to Bysius Teal faster, and also so that Vale would have a chance to reconnect and just say hello, see how everything was doing there. So they made their way over there, and very quickly after they arrived, in fact, the next morning after they arrived, the city went on lockdown. Some sort of representative or representatives possibly, from the Kryn dynasty came. And whether there's other stuff going on, we don't know. We just know that all the portals have been shut down and all of the borders are on lockdown. Having nowhere else to go, they went to Vale's brother, and Echo went to a temple of Ioun. Echo made a friend and found a place to stay if it was needed, and Vale and the group were able to convince Carrick to leave them out of his report. Carrick is a man of his word. He's bound by his word. So when he told you that he was going to find a way for you to get out of here, that he was going to get you a faster way to Baise Steel, he meant it. And he told you that he's going to do everything he can to make that happen as fast as possible. After that conversation, he dropped off some pickles back home to Vale's family, went back, met up with Echo at the temple, had a conversation about something strange that was happening with Melly to see what you could do and how you could help. And then everybody went down, found a place to rest, and Vale got a little like, his little, he got a stone call, we'll call it, as his sending stone started ringing.
Mm-hmm.
Vale went to the tree that him and his brother spent so much time at as a kid, as children, and they met up. And that is where we will start off right now.
So, okay, so are we all there, or? I know I think I just sent the message, but if you want to fast forward there,
you just sent the message. So if you wanted to, you had kind of like just walked up the stairs from where you were at, because you mentioned something about trying to go back and check out that library and see if you could find any sort of information. So you were separated from the group when you heard that. They were off reading, or Halfling or elsewhere in Mac again. But so if you wanted to go back and tell them, you absolutely could, and all go there together. Or if you wanted to just make it a Vale thing, you could do that too. So the world is yours.
All right. I like to think that I get about halfway up the stairs when that whole conversation happens, and I say to meet at our tree. And so then the three of you see the door swing open. Well, I think my research will have to wait. My brother just contacted me with the sending stone, and we're going to meet at a tree that we used to play at when we were children. I think perhaps we should all go. Unless you think we should split up for some reason.
How far away is that tree from here?
That's a great question.
Maybe like a 15-minute walk, something like that. It's not too far. It's fairly close.
It's not far at all. We can easily make it. 15 minutes, maybe?
I mean, I would say either you should go alone to reduce suspicion, or we should just all go together.
think that we should go
It's-
together. I just don't want us to not be able to get in touch with each other like earlier. Definitely see the usefulness in the sending stones now.
Quite useful. Yes, I think, especially if he has a way to go, we can just act right then. So, yes, let's stick together. So I guess we'll just gather whatever gear we had put on the floor for the 5 minutes that we were talking, and then go.
I just want to remind you, Mac is dressed like a child and was playing the part.
Yes.
Echo was, but he changed into his his ceremonial robes and or vestments before he entered the temple. So
Yeah.
do with that information as you like.
Echo removes the vestments that he put on over his child outfit, revealing the child outfit beneath.
I think Mac just embraced it, right? Like,
Mhm.
Yep, okay.
I think Mac's broken character since that happened.
I did.
might
I
be
did
right.
that. I did there though because we
Okay.
were all alone together.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So ooh. Real good? Okay. That was weird. So yeah, you all head off together?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds good. Yeah, so posing as a family, you do your thing. I'm assuming Vale and Melly try to hold Echo's hand again, and
1, 2, 3, wee!
He does
He's
it
just-
expressionless.
Could you imagine seeing a kid be like,
Not angry, just nothing. And he'll say, "We," like just matching the tone, but you can tell the heart isn't there.
oh my god,
like dead behind the eyes, but everything else
Yeah,
is there?
exactly.
amazing.
This poor adult man.
Okay, well, after a short amount of time, you end up at the tree, and it's this big, beautiful tree. Looks to be at least 100 years old, and it's just amazing because it's coming up. You are underground right now. It's coming up out from the underground. Vale would know that Uthadurn this area is kind of hard to live in. It doesn't really do well with any sort of like farming or that kind of stuff. There are some animals and hunting in the area, but any sort of like agriculture or like crops that they try to grow, it takes intense magical effort to grow them. So the feat of this tree being in this place, you know that took a lot of time, a lot of power, and probably a lot of money for this to happen. But it was important to the people. It's a reminder of where they came from. That being Molesmere. So, as you come up on this tree, you see standing underneath it an elf that looks slightly taller than Vale, slightly more handsome than Vale.
You didn't have to go there, Josh.
I'm teasing.
All right. Vale will just walk right up to him.
Yeah, when
Hello.
good.
You were able to. What's going on?
When he notices you, he walks up to you and gives you, sticks out his hand to give you one of these, Yeah. um, just say, "Hello, brother. I made my report. I left you and your friends out of it, and I was able to convince Teddy to do the same.
It's very appreciated. Thank you.
It was the least I could do. I spoke to my betters, and the lockdown is out of their hands. They want to keep as many glass blades here as possible to defend against any sort of disservice or upset of the citizens or riots, anything like that, for the Kryn being here. But they were very happy with the information that I brought them.
Is the situation that tense? Do they anticipate things, or is this more precautionary?
Right now, it's more precautionary. You know how our people are. Especially, you know how the dwarves of Uthadern are as well. Even before we came here, it was... Uthadern is a place that cares about itself and tries to stay away from the affairs of others. So when diplomats come and try to convince us to join their war efforts, people will have their opinions and feel very strongly about it. You know how Father is too. I'm sure he's already talking about it.
Yes, it came up briefly.
I'm sure it did.
Right. Do you have any... Vale just kind of hesitates for a moment, cocks his head to one side and just says, other ideas?
Only one. I had to pull about every favor that I could. But I was able to schedule an audience with Queen Frenust.
Is she the dwarven queen?
She is the dwarven.
Right.
Yes, so Vale would know. You guys probably wouldn't, but she's the Uthadern. They call it the diarchy of Uthadern. Essentially, there is a dwarven monarch and an elven or elvish monarch, and the two of them kind of rule together. So, right now, the leader on the dwarven side is Queen Simone Frenust, and that's that.
Vale's eyes get big. Really?
Brother, I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of a big deal. And he kind of smirks at you like...
Believe me, brother, if there's anything I've learned, that is very much the case. But what are your thoughts there? Are we to come with you?
I know you wanted anonymity here, and if that is what you wish, then you may keep that, but I thought it might help your case if at least some of you came with me, but I'm going to make a case for her and let her know that I have some friends in need who I made a promise to, and I intend to keep that promise. And the queen she's tough like any other dwarf you've met, but she's very caring and kind, and well, I think That's our best chance of getting you access to one of the portals. Teleportation circles.
That's no small favor that you have done. Vale just turns and looks at the three of you. I'm assuming you were all kind of standing there.
Did all of us hear this entire conversation?
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't, unless you
Okay.
like made an active decision to give them space and do something else. But even if you were trying to like be heard but not seen, I guess, if you will, I think you still would be able to listen. So yeah, if you wanted to hear it, you did.
Vale kind of just shrugs. I don't believe there's anything to fear from them. I think there is certainly value in anonymity, but I don't fear the diarchy.
What, not for nothing, what information will be required? Because while you say, essentially, anonymity may be off the table as far as us being able to leave, well, and Echo looks at Vale with just like, like, you know, like big wide-eyed, but like looking at the ground like, come on, like what are we supposed to... He looks a little, I would say he looks a little nauseous. Like you could tell he's extremely uneasy about this whole situation.
As Echo is speaking, if anyone is paying attention, you see Carrick start to realize that Echo and Mac are both dressed as children. And he's like, he just kind of looks and is like, and he like, I don't even want to know. I don't know. But in response to what Echo just said, he will tell you, it's not that anonymity is off the table. However, I feel that if I go by myself and speak on your behalf and don't tell her who these people are who I'm trying to get out of here and who I've promised access to one of our teleportation circles, I fear that it will raise more questions than if you all were just there and said, please let us leave this place.
She's gonna ask a question that we cannot answer, which is why.
You may. I cannot tell you what she will ask. I know that she has her own set of problems and issues that need working out. Who knows if...
Maybe we could provide a service for her, you're saying?
Exactly.
Well, the alternative is probably to spend weeks, if not months, getting to Bysaeus Steel. If this is something we wanted to pursue, it could just be me and my brother.
Are you
It
suggesting running off on your own again?
Just to rub elbows with royalty for a moment. But I could see a lot of advantage in currying favor with the Queen.
So basically, what you're telling me is that we're being blackmailed to have to do something to get out of a situation that they put us in to begin with.
Don't see how
So-
this is blackmail.
We can't leave unless we do something for them when they're the ones that instituted this ban to begin with.
That's
Roads do have a toll.
There's one way to look at this, I suppose. It's not as if they singled us out.
That's what it must be. Let's do it.
Does anyone know how long the visiting dignitaries will be here for? If the tradition is to turn people away and not be involved in other places' business, is it possible that this might be, tomorrow everything opens back up?
Had it not been for what all of us had just seen in the Savalier Wood, I think it would be exactly as you say. Maybe a week at best. But some of our own were killed by the Dwendalian Empire, and they are moving north. I do not know of another time in history where they have crossed through the mountains. They've always been kept at bay, never crossing Shady Creek Run.
Do you feel like it's more than just them exploring the ruins? Have they marched with soldiers?
To be honest, I have no idea. I just know that because of what just happened, all I can say for sure is it's going to be a much longer conversation had they come 3 weeks ago.
Should we put this to a vote then? Because it sounds like to me we either try and make this happen as quickly as we can and we take this audience, or we try and lay low and wait it out. Or we could just try and go on foot, but that would probably be the longest option.
If we do have an audience with the Queen and she decides to deny us and we decide to wait, will we have any issue gaining access once everything has settled down?
Not unless you intend on insulting her.
Not in the slightest, but I don't
Mac
know how.
just smirks a little bit.
Suspicion has a way of closing every door and every window, and I just don't want to exasperate our situation more than it already has been. So if there's a chance that that could close the doors for us later on, we should think very carefully about what we are willing to disclose and how far we want to push.
Brother, I think you may just need a moment.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. You're entitled to take as much time as you need.
When is
I'm-
your audience scheduled?
2 hours from now.
All right.
I'm not trying to make things more difficult for you. Just wanted to give you the option. I'm perfectly fine going in there myself and making a case for you. I don't even know why you need to get back to Bicest.
Give us we'll just be over here. And he points to an area that I'll just say looks like the four of us might be able to just have a quick conversation.
Just do what you feel is right.
So Vale walks over to that spot. I'm assuming everybody maybe follows. What do you think? I know it's not the most comfortable idea, but I also... I'm not entirely sure what to think. I trust my brother. I trust the queen, and I just... For me, it's a matter of wondering if it's better that they don't know more than it's a matter of not trusting them. Plausible deniability, I believe is the expression.
I think if this is our best shot to get out of here as soon as possible, we should probably take it. But I agree, I definitely don't want to reveal more than we absolutely have to.
I agree. I don't love this, but it may be our best chance. And if that means lying a bit, I suppose, or omitting, saying that we're maybe just trying to get back to my temple, or you're escorting me back to my temple, or something. Maybe that'll be enough, or in exchange for a favor, that'll be enough.
Well, what if it was a matter of some form of medical treatment? And we know someone familiar with the case is in Bicest Teal, and it's important to get there.
The only issue that I could see arising with something like that is we're talking to the queen. And if she does not want people to leave, I'm sure she has medical people, the best, in her mind, the best medical people in the world that could look at this and possibly figure it out. If for some reason they didn't want us to leave.
I'm just trying to use as much truth as we can.
I agree. I was trying to think of the same thing too, but I don't know if there's anything else time sensitive that we could use for as to why we need to get back there ASAP.
Dinner's still warm?
We bought a bunch of beans and we don't want them to expire?
Melly, you don't happen to still have any plum wine, do you? I think we ran out a while ago, didn't we?
Yes, I believe I used the last of it. I'm not really sure, actually. I know the last of the milk was drank when we were with Rain.
Sometimes the best way to a dwarf's heart is through drink.
Well,
It served me in the past, anyway.
it's unfortunate I have none with me. Maybe I could arrange when I get back to the farm a shipment, but that's just an empty promise. Not that we couldn't deliver, but they wouldn't have it at the moment.
Josh, does Val know of a brewery in town that might be looked at as particularly favored?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
But Vale is gonna have to give me about 20 seconds to decide the name of said brewery.
That's fine.
You do
So
know of a
fine.
brewery in town that's
Sure.
like
Yeah.
got a great reputation.
Maybe we can just simply say it is a matter of great importance.
Of a personal matter.
It is a very personal issue. Obviously, my brother has served the city. I have also in the past. And then we just simply come bearing gifts. I was thinking perhaps a keg of ale of some kind.
Well, if we are going to have an audience with the queen, kind of look at my clothes and echoes, we probably shouldn't be in disguise, as that would raise even more questions.
It only raises questions if they figure it out. Isn't that right, son? And he pats Echo on the shoulder.
He rolls his eyes so hard, you're surprised they don't pop out.
So, okay, it sounds like we're going to do this. So, should I tell my brother that are all four of us going? Do this together?
Yes.
All right.
Because if for some reason she says yes, we might be able to do it right then and there.
Fair enough. I think I gave you more than 20 seconds. Are we good on, okay.
Yeah, so you wanted
Keg, a cask,
Ale?
a barrel. Yeah,
yeah, but ale specifically.
something. Actually, is there anything that the queen is famous for liking? A particular.
Roll
History?
history, I guess. Yeah.
All right. 9 plus 6, that's a 15.
You've heard that she'll have the she, like other dwarves, are known for indulging in the occasional ale.
All right. So there's a magnificent brewery where I believe we could get.
Axebreaker Ale Company. It's the name of said brewery.
We could get her a barrel of Axebreaker Ale. I'm sure she can get it at any time she wants, but it's a token of our appreciation. All right. I think Vale is going to walk back over to Carrick.
Wait, Vale, one
Yes.
more thing. So as a group, do we want to have your brother keep the sending stone, or should we take it back? I don't know what everyone's thoughts are on that, but it would have absolutely been helpful for when Echo went to the temple.
Oh, right. We. If that's what you prefer, I can do that. We'll get it back from him.
Well, unless it's more beneficial for him to keep it. I just, I don't know how often we might run into an item like this. And having it within the party might be very beneficial, but Echo, Mac, do either of you have thoughts on this?
You do still have your scroll.
Which is only one use, though.
True, but if there was a reason to contact my brother to rally any support, that might be all we would need.
I think once we're leaving, we should take the stone with us.
Agreed.
And I shall get it back from him. All right. He just starts heading back to Carrick. We will join you in this audience. Where would you like us to meet you?
We could meet. You said you were at the temple of Ayun, right?
Yes, I was thinking of making a stop to Axebreaker and perhaps bringing a gift for Her Majesty.
Very wise decision, brother. We can meet. I'll meet you right at Axebreaker, say an hour and a half from now.
I think that works. He just looks at the others. Okay.
He'll also say to you, he'll be like, I'm going to go clean myself up. I would suggest you all do the same, and it's completely up to you. But personally, I would ditch the sailor costumes. Are those ours from...
Dale just nods.
I don't even want to know.
Points to Mac and he goes, I'm pretty sure that one's mine.
Well, I'll see you all in an hour and a half.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Of course.
One other thing. That stone only works once per day. I think we might have use for that. So can I have it back?
Yes. Of course.
Thank you.
He kind of takes it and looks at it for a second, and then kind of hands it back to you.
Very useful. Just puts it in his pocket.
Yes. This is very useful.
All right. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. And maybe we'll get cleaned up and maybe tie up any other loose ends. So I guess we gotta find a bathhouse.
Is this an anime now?
I mean, I don't know. There's that fountain right in the temple. Just hop on in. Might be frowned upon. So as soon as we're alone again, Vale just says, well, perhaps we could also do a little shopping. I know I was interested in armor, I can always wait, but I also thought, and he just looks at Melly, perhaps some more diamonds might be useful for you.
Yes, that is an excellent idea, actually. They hopefully will not be needed, but might come in handy.
They have good properties for magic.
Mm-hmm. Many different uses for them.
All right. Josh, do I have any idea on how much a cask of ale might be? I could look that up, I guess. Yeah.
That's going to depend on like how fancy of ale are you looking for?
Right. Okay.
Like, let's
I mean,
see.
Axe Breaker's finest.
Axe Breaker's finest.
At least that's what I'd be thinking about. I don't know if we have enough money for that. Diamonds and perhaps studded leather armor.
Yeah, I'm just hold on a second.
It's fine. I think.
What's up? What do you have?
No, I'm just thinking about perhaps what we'd spend our money on while you're thinking about that. This Vale has. He's got 19 gold. He's got about 20 gold. He's got some silver in there too.
Let's see. 3 storytelling.
Party has 145 gold
Oh,
and 7 platinum and 12 copper.
all right. So we're definitely in better shape than I thought. I was like, oh crap.
And
Sure.
we have 4 of the Melasmir coins. We could buy a whole bunch of beans and then sell the beans for a higher price.
I like the way your business mind thinks, Melly.
So I'd say probably without. We'll say this: an average cask of ale, probably going to be about like 15 gold pieces, or something average. For the finest, you'd have to talk to them. But
Yeah, okay. So, what are we thinking here? I think the diamonds and the ale is the most important. Obviously, I would like to upgrade my armor, but I think that might be the last of the priorities, at least as far as I could see. I'm not sure if any of you have other thoughts on that or any other desires.
Well, if the ale will assist in us getting out of here, we definitely should not skimp on that if we can avoid it. And if we can get at least 50 more gold pieces worth of diamonds, I think that would be sufficient for now.
All right, so perhaps I'm sure with the money you just mentioned, we'd be able to cover that. So, I guess we're gonna head to find a jeweler first. Or if there's a magical components shop, I'm sure they would have something like that too.
yeah, so if you're heading back to the, are you changing clothes first, or are you just going straight to?
Would say to wait to change clothes until we were going to go to the Queen's, personally.
Yeah, that's fine. We're out already.
Yeah, so if you head back to the old market shopping district, you will find, let's say, you wanted the jeweler first.
I think so.
Good. Looking around for a little bit. You find germaines, gems, jewels and other antiquities. It's a nice, kind of like a smaller shop. They got a very fancy door on it, nice little sconce on each side of the door, and on the glass, like you see that written there, just in excellent calligraphy.
Let's head on in. Yeah, we'll open the door.
Melly will walk in. And just start browsing.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of it's not a very large shop. Right at the end there's a counter, and they someone who, like, if he was human he'd probably be like 50. He is an elf, however, so like you kind of he looks middle-aged, and you know, he's standing behind a counter, and there's a glass showcase in there, and there's all sorts of necklaces and rings and kind of just loose gems, diamonds, pearls, like that kind of stuff. Some really nice looking stones, a couple of glass cases throughout the store as well. And as you all walk in, he'll just say, My, there's a lot of people coming in the store today. Please let me know if there's anything I could help you with. My name is Jermaine, and these are my gems and jewels and other antiquities.
Vale would just kind of awkwardly nod and say, "Yep, thank you."
Yes.
Pretty much.
So, we're in the market to buy a couple of diamonds. How much will this get me? Melly's just gonna take out 50 gold, because that's what she's looking for.
Say, yes, of course. So then he'll just kind of look at Vale and just kind of give you kind of like oh, very, very good for you, like kind of look at both of you, you know, diamonds for the lady, of course.
Vale just kind of like, all I can picture is like the way Jerry Seinfeld smiles when he doesn't mean it at all, and it's just like, okay, what they like.
And he'll kind of go through and count what you have there. Be like, 50 gold pieces, yes. Let me see what we have here. And he'll kind of look through, and he'll pull out this little pouch and put a kind of a felt pad down on top of the glass. And on top of this glass, he'll put like kind of a large looking diamond, a group of like smaller diamonds, like a couple of like medium-sized diamonds, and he'll just be like, for 50 gold pieces, it could be any of these that you choose. Just kind of he'll give you the option.
Does each like one look like it's actually worth? And Melly's not gonna know this, but I want to ask anyways. Does each one actually look like it's worth 50 gold?
Why don't you roll? What is it for?
It's a good question, because like she would probably have an understanding on the magical need, but on the practical side, probably not as much, right? Or like, I don't know.
Yes. One moment. I'm just pulling up. What is it called? Appraisal, right? I know that's somewhere.
Now, if Mac notices that Melly is looking at them, just kind of like looking at them longer than necessarily like glancing at them. He would try to like just kind of work his way over there to glance at them to see if he thought that they would equal that much.
Sure. So I would say, I want to say you could do either perception or insight. I know those are two very different things, but I think both of them apply for different reasons.
We're gonna go with insight.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Not terrible. 18.
18?
Mm-hmm.
I got an 8.
Okay. Mac, those look like really expensive. Those are some like really nice looking diamonds. You're like, wow, 50 gold? That's a steal. Melly, you would know just by looking at like, you look at what he put out, you look at him, and you get the feel that there's a hefty markup on these. And based on when you used the spell the one time you used it, you know how many diamonds he used and what that looked like, and kind of in comparison, putting everything together. It's probably not enough for you to do your thing.
This is quite interesting. So each individual section is worth 50 gold.
Yes, of course. Are they not to your liking? These are the finest diamonds you'll find in all of Uthodurn.
I think that maybe these two piles together would be worth about 50 gold.
He looks at you, Melly, and then he looks over at Vale, kind of like, is she for real? And he just say, my lady, if you're trying to put me out of business, then surely you could have all the diamonds you want for 50 gold. But I am a businessman, and I do need to make my profit on this. Each one of these individual piles is worth 50 gold.
That is a very interesting statement. Coming from one business person to another, I also know not to pull a fast one over on first-time client. Now, I know you wouldn't want to take advantage of such a young mother with two lovely children and such a caring husband who was willing to come out and celebrate our anniversary today.
Full deception.
All right, I hope this goes well.
This is
Here we
what
go.
Melly's good at.
All right, which one do I want to roll? Gonna go with the ducks. Don't
There it is.
betray me.
D for
Okay,
deception.
that's not very good.
Oh,
That's okay. Let's see. All right, it's only an 11.
Dale just looks over at Echo and just says, "Son, don't touch that." To try and help the deception check. If he can.
With advantage.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Let's go back to the Saren Ray die. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Ooh, so much better. That's a 23.
Okay. So were you finished with your statement of, I know you said, like, I know you're not trying to take advantage of a young mother of 2 children when they're going out to celebrate their wedding anniversary. Was there anything else you wanted to add on to that, or was that the whole statement before we continue on? Because you passed your deception check, I'll tell you that much.
I think no, because I think that'd be it. Because Melly said everything. She said
Okay.
she was a businesswoman. You know, you don't pull a fast one over on first time customers.
He'll just say, no, of course not. Of course I wouldn't try to pull a fast one and get one over on you. Such a lovely family such as yourself. And then he'll kind of like make eye contact with both of the children and just kind of be like, ooh. Because like, while they look like children, they also don't look like children, you know? Like, and I imagine Echo still
mouths,
has
help me.
I mean, you know, as they say, 2 beautiful people make ugly kids.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'd never tried to take advantage of such a lovely family, such as yourself. And might I say congratulations on your anniversary. Because it's a special occasion, a special event. How about 50 gold pieces? We'll call it this. 60 gold pieces. You get the large diamond and one of the medium-sized diamonds. How does that sound? I'm taking a loss on this. I'm taking a loss on. You have to. It's because I like you. It's because. Look at you, wonderful people. I know this is going to make you happy, and I love love. I just love it. So, please, 60 gold pieces. I promise you, I'm at a loss at this. How does that sound?
DM, are those 2 together actually worth 50?
Yes.
Okay, he wants us to pay 60?
Also, as a business person,
I know, they gotta make a profit. All right. I appreciate your generosity. 60 gold. And you've got yourself a deal.
lovely. I knew the moment you walked into this shop that we would be doing business with each other today, and I hope that you'll be a long-time customer. Tell you what, I'll even throw these in for the children, and he takes these 2 like little plastic like ring pop looking things
Yes.
and gives them to you. And shall I gift wrap them for you? Is we'll pull out all the stops. Give me one moment, and he grabs them and kind of goes in the back, and he makes like this. He's back there for probably like 2 minutes, but he comes back out with this like exquisite looking gift packaging for this. It's in a very nice gift bag with 3 different colors of like the little paper. Was it wrapping paper? Packing, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. When you got a gift bag and you put the little in there, that's what he's got.
Tissue paper?
Tissue paper. Thank you.
So when he went to the back, what did he do with the rest of the diamonds?
He took everything off the table when he did that.
Where did he put them?
He took them with him in the back.
Oh, okay.
took the felt lining off the table too, so you have the glass now over all of these like necklaces and rings and bracelets, brooches, so all that kind of stuff. Does anyone do anything for the 2 minutes while he is back in the other room?
That is not directed at anyone in particular.
No one in particular.
No. Mac does nothing other than put a bunch of handprints all over the glass.
I was literally about to say Echo does that.
Oh man. In real life, I hate your kind. The kind of people who leave fingerprints all over the glass.
Josh does not work in retail at all.
Melly will quietly whisper to whoever's nearest to her, "Can you believe this guy was trying to take us for a ride? That was not 50 gold worth for each individual pile."
It just looks back at you and just says, "Yes, I can."
Oh.
Have you not spent much time in the city?
Well, not exactly. I mean, we did a lot of bartering, so it was, a jug and a half of plum milk for a chicken, or I'm not really sure what the conversions are.
Probably not the kind of trades you are used to making. But as long as this will do the trick if the need should arise, I think that is the most important thing.
It will.
So you guys are finishing up that conversation. That's when he comes out with the wonderfully packaged diamonds. And he starts counting the gold that you put on the table, and he says, "My friends, that would be another 10 gold pieces." Because you originally put 50 gold on the table, never said anything about the other 10 coming out, that's why. But
Gotcha.
Of course. Melly hands him the other 10 gold, and then also very strategically leaves a handprint on the glass. Oh, and you wrapped it up so lovely. Thank you. So
When you're
very much.
handing the gold over, though, I'm gonna go, "Mother, is that my shoe money? Do I not get new shoes this year?"
Your father's been working very hard, and we're celebrating today. So don't worry. You will get new shoes. Come now, let's go. We have a very important meeting that we cannot be late for.
I don't think I got your names.
No, I don't think you did. Have a good day.
Tell your friends. We'll be seeing you soon. Next year, if not earlier.
Just walks out the door.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. All right. Based on the time that we have left, do I think I would have enough time to stop by a shop to buy armor, if that's something that we're okay with, and clean?
What's your plan for cleaning?
I don't know.
Like, are you actually trying to go find some place where you could, like, I don't know, where you could have your like hot springs episode or like whatever is happening?
For some reason, it's like an episode of Uther Dern Shore. What's the situation? Okay. So yeah, just I think just freshen up. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't be like being in armor. I don't think would be bad. I think that would be fine.
Yeah, if you're just talking about freshening up, then you have plenty of time. If you're actually like you said bathhouse before, so if that's something you're trying to do, then that's going to take time, but otherwise just the normal cleaning up, then yeah, you have plenty of time to continue shopping.
What do we think is it okay to do this, you think, or would you prefer to really clean up?
I would just like to put on any other clothing, but specifically my dress robes.
I mean, I could
Which-
go on my own. You want to take Aula or someone to come else with me and just meet you at the brewery?
I mean, it would only take a moment to change, and I think any cleaning up that we would want to do, I think we'll be fine to go together.
And I'll be quick about it.
Did we already get the ale?
No, the meeting's well, when we started, the meeting was in 2 hours. He said an hour and a half to meet there.
You
Okay.
probably spent like 15 minutes of that,
Yeah.
maybe 20 minutes of that so far.
All right. So if there is a tanner that would, or a / armorer, we would try and find that. Belle says, I would need to dip into the party funds for this a little bit, I think.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
As long as everyone else is, what keeps you safe also keeps us safe.
Okay. So, yes, let's head on in.
Before we do that, let's just take a quick break. And if anyone has any questions while we're on this break, anything that has happened so far, or something that's going on in your game that you'd like some clarification on, or anything at all, just type those questions away in chat. We'll answer them as soon as we return. All right. So we're looking for a leather store. And as you continue on through, you actually find that place that you found the very first time you went into this marketplace, which was actually just this morning. It was only probably like 4
yeah.
hours ago.
Yeah.
But you got lost and found it like several times. I was gonna say roll a survival check, and we'll see if you just keep walking, like missing it this time.
No. Do you want me to? I will.
No, you don't have to do that. And it just says Ashen Forge on the sign.
All right, I'll try to be quick. Opens the door, walks on in.
Does anyone else walk in with you, or like you said? I'm only asking because you said I'll try to be quick. That made me think other people are waiting outside.
Certainly, I'm not going to stop him.
Melly will go in because Vale said that he might need some monies from the party fund.
Well, if both the parents go in, then obviously I would follow.
All right. Yeah.
Echo's gonna start hanging out with gang members and stuff. His family's gone.
You're gonna get edgy.
Yeah.
These cool guys who were lifting up rocks.
I'm a tough guy now. I'm a real straight hood.
Oh man. Echo becomes a theater kid and he thinks he's in a gang. Out there fighting like he's in West Side Story.
Yeah, he's teaching him how to walk and snap at the same time.
Once you're a kid all the way.
Oh no.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Hello. Hello.
You walk in and the store is kind of lined with like mannequin like things that are all donning like some sort of armor. Some of it is like very intricate with all of these like fine details carved into, whether it's scale or There's even a set of plate there, chainmail, leather, studded leather, various levels of studded leather. Whether like one of them just looks like just kind of basic. One of them has the image of a lion like on the chest of it, and another one has a dragon, and it's just kind of varying degrees of niceness, we'll call it. And again, there's also some glass display cases like kind of in the middle, and those have various like bracers and that kind of thing. But as you walk in, you see someone standing, not really like a long counter like the other place. This one is just kind of a nice like wooden table, and he's actually working on some sort of leather piece, and he's kind of short, probably like right around halfling size, a little bit taller maybe, stout, absolutely no facial hair. His face actually kind of resembles that of like an elf, or a half elf, and he's got long blonde hair. It's a little like curly and whatnot. He'll look up at you and just say, well, it's nice to see you today. I didn't know it was family day today. What can I do for you?
Right. I hope it's okay. They're here.
Of course.
I was just hoping to purchase.
As long as you don't touch anything.
Yes, that's actually very important, children. He looks at Mac briefly, but then lingers at Echo for just an extra a couple of
As soon as you
seconds.
say it, though, you see Mac's hand kind of just like pull back.
I'm actually just hoping to purchase a suit of studded leather armor. Do you have anything that might be in my size?
Hey, I got plenty of things that could use here. You're looking for just like a no frills studded leather? Are you looking for something a little bit fancier? Something that makes a statement?
Most of the times, the statements I try to make are understated.
All right. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. And he just kind of he walks over to one of the mannequins and points it out, and it's just it's a very basic looking stud leather armor. It looks very well made, very well crafted. You could tell that he is very good at what he does, and one of those people that just takes a lot of pride in his craftsmanship. But it doesn't have any sort of like. There's a couple little like wavy patterns in there and stuff. It still looks nice, but it doesn't have any sort of crazy design. Like whereas you had the one with the lion, you have one with the dragon, and
Yeah.
all those kind of like crests and sigils on it. Like this one, no frills. It's
Yeah, Val just smiles when he sees it. He goes, I think this is perfect.
all right.
How much would you like for this? And would you be interested in a trade? And he just gestures to the armor he's wearing, which is just regular leather.
By the looks of it, this one's seen a bit of action, hasn't it?
Well, that's probably fair.
Your papa must be in a dangerous business. I'll kind of look at the two children as he says that. And he'll just say, so well, typically I sell these for about 50 gold pieces. If you're throwing in the other leather armor, let me just take a look at it.
And a regular leather purchase is 10.
10.
Yeah.
just look and be like, well, it's going to take some work for me to get it back into sellable condition. And to be quite honest, usually I like to sell my own products instead of something else. Actually, is this made for glass blades?
It was, yes.
Well, I'm sure there's a story behind that. I'll take 3 gold off for it if you throw it in.
So
So
you're saying if I
47 gold.
give you the armor and 47.
Hey.
He just takes out his coin purse and he's don't have exactly that. Would you be willing to go perhaps around 40?
Absolutely not. I have to make a profit on this. I'm going to have to put work into getting this back into condition.
Mm.
And to be quite honest, even if it was perfect, I'd only be able to sell it for about used 8 gold pieces.
Mm.
So I cannot do
I
that.
prefer the term broken in. He just smiles. I understand. Vale just turns to Melly. I can get about 20 gold worth into that, so the rest would have to come out of the party fund. Do we have 27 more?
Of course. Melly will root around, find 27 gold, pull it out. Here you go,
Okay.
dear.
Consulting with the bank, I see.
Vale just smiles at Melly and just says, yes, well, it's true.
As he says that, he looks at Melly and gives her a wink. Not anything, just a normal, just like hey, I just made a joke wink, not like
Yeah, like he's
like how you doing, you know.
right. All right, so yeah, I think that's fine. If there's anything else that we want to do. Al's just gonna take his armor off, put on the new armor, and the
Yeah, he helps you kind of get it
Fancy.
to size and everything, and when it's on you, he just kind of like he does a quick like walk around, tightens a little thing on the side, little piece, and
gets
gives it a
nice and-
really hard pat like on your chest, and say, yeah, that should keep you safe,
I think so. I appreciate it.
of course.
DM, quick question. Instead of giving him 27 gold, can I have given him 17 gold and 10 copper?
Instead of 27 gold,
Oh,
17 gold and 10 copper.
Oh, no,
So you're
wait, sorry. Oh, sorry.
I was like, she's trying to scam him.
No. Because we don't have any silver, so I missed the conversion. Never mind.
All right, so 27 gold.
Yes.
Okay.
I gave 19 gold and 10 silver, but yeah, I did. That's what I removed. All right.
Well, if there's anything else I could help you with, feel free to let me know.
Thank you. I think that will do. And he just looks back at Melly and the children. I appreciate it very much. I'm sure this will be quite helpful. And he just nods and goes to walk out the door.
Yeah, he kind of just like when you said you're fine, he kind of just turns around, walks away, goes back to what he's doing, and
He's like, I'm good.
pays no attention. Yeah. Like, he was willing to help you with anything you need, but when he knows you don't need help, he's like, all right, whatever.
Have fun.
You know.
All right. Cool. So, are we good to go freshen up and then? Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, we still have to get our keg, don't we?
Ooh, that's right.
Because we're
What?
meeting your brother at the temple.
At the brewery.
So we need to get. Are you sure?
Mhm.
I could swear he said, okay. That's my mistake.
So I thought we would get ready and then go there.
Second. Who else thought it was temple and not brewery?
I thought it was temple.
You thought it
All
was temple?
three of you thought it was temple, and
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yes.
your characters think that he said temple. So, you want to roleplay that? If you want to, unless that was a. You all can handle that however you wish. But
so Vale
think
says,
that's-
should we get cleaned up and then head to the brewery? That's what Vale says.
So we'd be going to the temple twice?
No, why would we do that?
I must have misheard something before. All right, let's go. Pops.
You're a good boy. He just pats him on the head, ruffles his hair.
When we're heading back, do we pass any ye old candy shops?
Yes, we need a big old lollipop the size of his head.
you roll a survival check for me, Melly.
Okay. Survival is down here. 20.
20? Okay. So you do, yeah, you see a it's labeled exactly that. It says ye old candy shop, and old is spelt OLDE. And you look in the glass and in the window, they have all these bright colored like licorice and lollipops and all sorts of just wonderful looking candies. They have gummy owl bears and all sorts of just fun looking stuff.
Melly will say to Vale, I know that they're not going to be in the costume for very long, but I very much would like to get them some candy. I just think it would look so cute.
I think this is absolutely something two parents would do for their children on a wonderful day like today. Especially if we're celebrating.
Boys, would you like to get some candy today?
I would love some candy.
I would also love some candy.
All right, so 1 piece each, okay?
But I want 2 pieces.
Now, son. Your mother said 1.
Stamps his
Everyone
feet.
knows you'll spoil your dinner.
You'd be more like your brother.
Crosses his arms and stomps his feet a little bit.
All right, I don't know about you guys, but we get the candy, then we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
What candy?
One of those rainbow swirly lollipops the size of a halfling's face.
Perfect.
Each.
The size of a face?
Yeah, a halfling face,
Right.
but yes.
Okay. All right. It's gonna be one silver piece total.
Bell looks at Melly. Nah. Pats his pockets.
Got it. Don't worry. And okay.
You're lucky Izzee speedrun ran through that. Otherwise, we would have just had 10 minutes of the beginning of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because that's exactly where I was going with it. So you also would have had a kid come in there and be, I wish I had $1 million. Hot dog, you know, but it's all right. It's all right.
Ooh. I want to meet the queen.
Okay. So back to the temple, getting cleaned up. Anything you want to point out in there, or you want to just say you did it?
I mean, I feel like it would take an extra 5 minutes because Mac would literally have lollipop sugar everywhere, all over his face, hands, hair, arms, like everywhere.
Oh man. Yeah, Melly, I think when you're cleaning yourself up too, you noticed that at one point Mac had wiped his nose on your clothing.
Oh man. Oh.
Well, Vale has prestidigitation now, right?
Yeah, Vale can help.
Okay.
He helps everybody get cleaned up.
Okay. Realistically, it probably
about
takes
that.
you like 10 minutes to get cleaned up.
And then I don't know how fancy of clothes all of you are wearing, but Mac is just wearing his normal outfit with his leather armor that's kind of all dirty and scuffed up. Not
Vale
really
feels-
fancy.
Vale
much at
actually
all.
looks at Mac and just like, huh, I'm actually happy I just bought a brand new suit of armor to meet the queen.
Yeah, I'll say
That's-
Echo gets out his nice like dress robes and makes a point to ask Vale if he can do that thing that he did. Still not totally understanding it. So, like to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, Vale
'Cause
does.
I believe
everything
it's
he
still
can.
I think it's still gross from when it was handed to him by Mac. I don't remember it being cleaned up. That was a long
I don't
time
think
ago.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he takes it. It is Shadow, but you just see Shadow kind of disturbed around it, and feel like if there were any wrinkles and like dirt patches, I feel like it kind of quite striking. The queen will be impressed.
Now, did you mention out loud about glad that you got your armor, or was that just something that you thought?
I don't think Val would have voiced that. Would have been more fun to have that conversation, but I don't think he would have said it. I think you may have noticed him just kind of look at you and then just kind of, like wipe down his chest and shoulders a little bit, and like. But I don't think he would have said anything.
We'll remember that.
What friends are for.
Melly's gonna leave her cloak turned around to like the brownish green side until we actually get to where the queen is, because she doesn't want to draw attention to us while we're walking.
I have a question, and it's something that we would have noticed by now, but have we removed all of the decorations from the darker side of Melly's cloak?
Oh, when we were undercover as service assembly people.
Uh-huh.
I think you said you left the bedazzlements on there, but I'll leave that up
just-
to you though.
I think it was just like the trim on, and it wasn't on the darker side. It was on the cow print side, because we were trying to
it's
look
on the
like
corporate side?
we were trying to look like regal.
Okay.
but I think we did take the crust off.
It was on the cow print side because we were trying to look regal.
You know, like a
Clearly.
king.
I love that.
All royalty dresses in cow print. Canon.
Man. I'm so tempted to. You walk in to meet the queen and she's wearing cow print as well. It's really awkward. One of you has to change.
You know, that would be a great rolling a 1 on a charisma check. Like, something like that. You're still competent at what you do. It's just circumstances sucked.
Yep.
Very quick little side lesson. Yeah, so I guess once we're all gussied up, we'll head out to the brewery.
So
Even if we're going to be there a little early, it's probably good to just familiarize ourselves with the menu.
yeah, between everything, you probably have like by the time you get to the brewery, probably have like 15-20 minutes left, something like that. But you are standing outside there. You going in the brewery, or you're waiting for your character to pop by before you do your thing?
Bill says we probably should try to purchase the ale now, because I wouldn't want to keep the queen waiting. So, yes, let's try and get that settled now. And Vale has Isla perched up on top of the brewery and says to let him know when Carrick gets there.
I have a question.
Sometime.
Are we going to bring it with us or have it delivered?
Right.
As much fun as it would be to carry it, I don't know how far away we are to wherever the queen is. It might make more sense just to give her a certificate of purchase that it will be delivered post haste.
Echo starts looking for a big sweaty man.
Echo.
You are the strongest one here, Melly. You should be able to carry
That's
it.
true. Vale just says, I think. Well, our dwarven friends tend to like a more hands-on approach to things. I don't think the certificate would go over poorly, but if we could bring it with us, I think that would only help us. Just my thoughts.
All right, well, I guess let's see how large this is going to be. So we all go inside?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so you pop in, and it's actually a pretty large place. There's a decent amount of people in there, both dwarves and elves, all drinking. Over towards like the right a little bit, like up and to the right inside, there's a very large like bar that kind of wraps around like almost the whole place. And over towards the left, there's some chairs and tables and stuff where people are sitting down and having a meal. And a little bit towards the left, like in front of the tables, there's a little stand, like a pedestal type, or I don't know, little like wooden thing, papers on it, and there's a girl standing behind that who just looks really confused, like she has no idea what's going on in the restaurant at all. That was for Jake. And yeah, so if you wanted to, you'd easily be able to walk up to the bar and see what's going on. Plenty of open seats.
Yeah, I think Vale would just naturally walk over to one. I don't know if he would sit down. I think he would just kind of lean on it.
Sounds about right.
Mac would walk over with him.
Mac and Echo, you would probably have to sit on the stool to be able to see over the bar, as it is kind of tall. Or at least just kind of like lean up on it, you know. But yeah, you look, you see there's a ton of kegs. There's a little like
Yeah, kegs, casks, depending on.
yeah, ton of kegs, ton of casks. There's a big chalkboard that has all of the various options that they have. There's ale, there's some sours. There's actually a plum sour there on the menu. A lot of IPAs and of all of varying costs.
Or here they're called UPAs. With the Darren Pale Ale.
You know what? They are called UPAs. That's canon now.
I'm sure they make good ale here, and it gets shipped. Needs all the extra hops to preserve it.
Very nice.
I think until a bartender comes over, Vale would just, once he notices the plum sour, he would look at it and go, "Oh, take a look at that, Melly."
You know, I've never had plum ale before. We discussed possibly making some, but we never really saw it come to fruition. I wonder if it's any good.
An elf will kind of walk by who had just finished helping up another patron and kind of look at the lot of you and just say, "Well, how are you all doing today? Is there anything I can help you with?"
We're looking to purchase a cask.
A whole cask.
Yes, I don't know if there's someone else we should speak to or not. But
I could help.
Would like to, if put it this way, if you were trying to make a good impression on someone for a meeting you were going to have, what would you choose as far as your selection here?
Well, you can already tell I like you if you're bringing ale to a meeting. Let's see. You wanted to stick to an ale?
I think an ale would be good, but if you have something else in mind, I'd listen. Just to clarify, you did say that Vale knows she's fond of ales?
Yes.
Okay. But probably an ale.
All right. Let's see. Would you? Is this your first time here?
Is it Vale's first time here?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll leave that up to you, I guess.
How long have they been in business? That would be my question.
They've been there for.
I should say this. Have they been there longer than, say, like, the last 30, 35 years?
Yes, they have.
I think Vale's probably been here.
Okay.
It's been a while, but yes.
All right. Let's see. Give me 1 sec.
Alrighty.
What am I looking for? Personally, I'm a big fan of our Frost Giant Fury. It's a wonderful UPA. Actually only make it this time of year in the dead of winter.
Do our dwarven friends tend to like this?
Of course. Would you like to try it?
I just looks at the others, shrugs and nods his head.
Yeah, they get you a little like actually they grab a flight, except every one of them they fill with Frost Giant's Fury, and
We might
Drop
also
it
be
in front of
interested
you.
in that plum sour as well.
sure. Yeah,
For a different project.
no problem, no problem. And they'll or just one sample of that one.
Mel just slides that over to Melly, and then tries the Frost Giant Fury. Great name, by the way.
It's good. It's very good. I mean, you know, if you don't like UPAs, if you don't like really hoppy beer, you're not gonna like it. But if you do like them, it's real good.
Yeah, I think Vale might be right on the cusp of that, but I think he would at least appreciate the quality. Vale just kind of looks over at Echo, scratches his head. I'm not sure if this is going to work for you, my friend, but this is a very fine ale.
It's
More of
very
a-
bitter. Echo.
More of a porter man myself.
Vale just like nods, like, all right. Like, how much would a cask of the Frost Giant Fury be?
A full cask. It's a limited edition run. Cask of Frost Giant's Fury. Probably go for. We do it for 35 gold.
How much? He just kind of turns the other way and like leans over to Melly. How much do we have left?
We definitely have enough that we could purchase this. 48 gold, and then a little lower, and 7 platinum.
I think it might be worth it. And based on what Vale knows about the dimensions of the opening to the bag of holding, he's looking at the casks. I'm just curious if I think it actually tells you how the size of it.
I think you can. Since we're in Matt Mercer's campaign setting, I am almost 100% positive that Grog has put a cask in the back of Holden before.
That is so true.
So then I'll say yes. We don't even have to look it up. We're in
All right.
Mercer's setting. We'll play by Mercer's rules for this one.
I'll take it. Okay. I think it might actually. We might not have an issue bringing it. I think it might fit in our bag. But yes, I think we'll take a cask.
Get everything set up for you. Is there anything else you'd like to try while you're here? If you get the cask, then, as far as I'm concerned, each of you can have a pint on the house.
I'd love a good porter.
Sure.
I'll have a plum sour.
We have right now the only porter we have is it's a porter de Mali. Melly, roll a history check with advantage.
14.
14.
Mhm.
You know that is a city on the Menagerie Coast. That's named after.
Oh, it's from my neck of the woods.
Oh, well then I'm sure it's lovely.
Well, everything's brewed in house, but it's made here. But it's named after. You know, and then they just kind of pour it for you. They pour sour for Michael. Sorry for Mac. Melly, did you try the sour yet?
I was just gonna say, yeah, Melly's gonna try it right now to figure out if she wants a whole glass of it.
What do you think? Do you think Melly would like a sour? It is exactly as the name suggests. It's very sour.
I think she would.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually really nice. It's like it's got like a strong tang as like all sours do, but it also has like a sweetness and a really nice plum flavor in there. You could really taste the fruit. Of course, the fruit flavor is not as good as your plums from your
Well,
place, but
I mean, whose would be? This was amazing. One day I would definitely love to discuss recipes, but I think for now I would just like a large glass of water, please.
of course.
I'll
And
have
for
the
you,
porta tamale. That looks good. I'll try one of those.
all right. Just give me one moment. I'll get it all set up for you. And it shouldn't be but 10 minutes before we have the cask ready for you.
Thank you very much.
Right? He'll bring out your glasses, and they're like nice glasses. It's the cool little like it says the name of the company on the outside of it, Axe Breakers Ale Company, and you know, everybody's just enjoying their drinks.
Vale just goes to cheers Echo and waits till they clink glasses to say, I don't know if I'm supposed to drink with my children, but
You actually get a laugh out of Echo with that. And he, because he probably has to two-hand the glass, does so. And
as
drinks
much as
it
Mac
very
was
quickly.
into it before, Mac glares at you as he just literally, like he's glaring at you and just downs the whole thing, just in one thing, just chugs it.
all right. Vale has about a third of it, so maybe a half. He doesn't want to. He's not looking to get much going on right now.
Echo.
Echo takes the first sips, making sure to get a little bit of the head in there before he, gets down to the meat of it, and missing those real burnt flavors, those nice deep, like coffee chocolate notes. He drinks the rest of it very quickly.
Very nice. So both of our halflings roll a con save for me.
That's a 6.
6.
16.
Okay. Echo, you're like you're I think you're fine, like for the most part. You feel like slightly looser, I would say, just as like a, I don't know, maybe a little bit less stressed or whatever, however you think Echo would react to like a good amount of alcohol, you know? Mac, you're pretty loose. Pretty loose. But you think you're fine.
Sounds fantastic.
I am scared now.
And the bartender will come back and be like, did you need us to deliver this anywhere for you, or should I just drop it out front?
Vale just looks at Mel. Is he like have it with him, or is he just asking right now?
He's just asking right now.
Okay. I think we could just meet out front. I think that would do.
All right. We'll have that arranged. Did you like everything?
It was delicious. I wish I had more time, but it's quite good.
Well, it'll be out front waiting for you whenever you're ready. And we hope to see you soon. Best of luck on your meeting.
Thank you. I think hopefully now that we have your beer, we won't need it.
So minus 35 gold.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
No tip leaving Sons of Guns.
I'm sorry. I don't remember. How much did the lollipops cost? Was that 5 silver or 1 silver? You
One
said
silver.
1 silver.
One
Okay.
silver total.
Okay.
So if you're all finished in there and you want to
Does
pop
Vale
out
only see Melly give 35?
make a perception check.
Okay. 10.
I mean,
He wasn't being stealthy about it. Like, she was just like 1, 2.
oh, if you're doing
3.
that, then yes.
That says you should leave him a little something extra.
How much?
For etiquette wise, I mean, if I don't know if you tip on a whole cask or not, but he did give us free beer.
You would not have to leave a percentage.
Yeah.
It would just be whatever you felt.
2 or 3 gold pieces should be very nice, I think.
Melly leaves 3 more gold pieces and 2 copper.
And
Just for fun.
the bartender hears the 38, 39, 40, 1, 2. And and you see him like kind of get a smile on his face, and he'll just say, "Thank you very much."
He just says those last 2 are for good luck. He just waits as he walks away. And I guess we'll go outside and see if we could put the cask in the bag of holding and wait for Carrick.
Yeah, you go outside, and there's a nice wooden cask right out front, and burned into the side of it, there's this like ferocious looking frost giant, which that's some fun alliteration right there.
Absolutely.
But there's this frost giant kind of burned into the side of it, and he's got this axe in his hand, like up, right? And yeah, it's just kind of like burnt into the side. It's nice. It looks cool. And you're able to just kind of that right into the bag folding. And yeah.
That's great.
As y'all are hanging out up front, Carrick strolls along, and he's wearing his studded leather armor, and he has like a very fancy looking cloak over it. It's like a dressy glass blades thing. It just looks very nice. Looks cleaned up.
He's in his dress uniform.
Fixed his hair and everything.
Yeah.
And he'll look at you all, and he'll just say, "Hello there. I like the new clothes a lot better for you two." And Echo and Mac, and he'll look at you, Vale, and he'll just say, "Oh, and look at you. You've got an upgrade yourself, huh?"
Well, can't have you one-upping me all the time, brother. Got to keep you on your toes.
Oh, brother, you know I never tried to one-up you.
This happens naturally, I know. But I don't want to keep Her Majesty waiting.
Of course not. Are you all ready?
Yes. Yes, we are.
So they will, he'll kind of lead you all as you walk through town and make it to this very nice, like kind of fancy looking building. It's all of like a stone design, and it's kind of built like out of the cavern itself. But there's all these like intricate engravings into it, and you could really see that like this place, it was probably here for a very long time, but with the melding and meshing of the two cultures, the elves were allowed to kind of make their mark on it and just kind of make it a little bit more beautiful, whereas dwarves will make excellent work. Sometimes it's more practical than it is fancy. But you walk into this building and towards this building, and there are glass blades stationed outside holding halberds. When they see Carrick, they move out of the way and kind of give him a nod, and you're all let in. You walk through these gates, and Carrick is kind of talking to you as he walks through, and he's like, "Now, brother, I know I don't have to remind you of this, and Echo, Melly, Mac, you all seem like very intelligent, wonderful people. I don't know how much time you've spent with royalty, but I just a quick refresher. Refer to her as Her Highness. Bow when you walk in, and just be polite, and really you could let me do most of the talking, or Valenthinius, I'm sure can do fine as well, but it's just, I know this situation isn't great for you, but remember that I'm putting myself on the line for you right now.
We do have a cask of Frost Giant Fury with us. I don't know when you think that would be best to present to her.
I think after introductions are made, just let her know what you have, and she will decide what happens next. Please don't just go. What do you mean you have a cask?
It's in a safe place, brother. But it's with us.
Just no surprises, Vale.
It's perfectly fine. It's quite heavy, otherwise I'd take it out and show you, but it's...
You could tell he's like stressed right now. Like the weight of everything is kind of like getting to him a little bit, and he's like, okay, all right. I know my brother, and he's gotten me into trouble before. And I don't know these guys, but they're hanging out with my brother. So that can't be good.
Once or twice.
Does he notice just a little bit of like the alcohol sweat on Mac at all?
He's just smiley.
Let's see. Should probably pull up his character sheet before this, shouldn't I? That would be wise, right?
I love that you made one for him.
I don't
In this
always
group,
do
he needs to.
it. You never know if Mac's gonna be like,
You're not
"All right,
wrong.
your brother's dying today."
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Let's see. Well, he rolled a 14 on his perception, so I'd say, yeah, he sees it a little bit. He's, and you know, it just kind of adds to like just another weight on his shoulder before this, in his mind at least. So you continue on, and he's going to kind of walk up to. Excuse me 1 second. He'll kind of you'll be walking up these stairs, very nice looking staircase, the rug in the middle of it, and you get to these large gates, and outside of that large door, there's an elf in very fine clothes, and they'll just say, "Hello, Carrick. Who might all of you be?" Carrick will just kind of look at him and just say, "Oh, Marion, I have business with the Queen. It's already been scheduled. You don't have to question my guests. We are here with permission." They'll just say, of course. It's just my job to know what's going on. But you do have the right to be here. That's fine. The Queen will be with you momentarily. He kind of steps away and walks by. You guys are just kind of standing by yourselves, waiting outside this large, ornate door.
I think Val would just be sitting, or just standing there. Probably has some nervous energy that he doesn't realize, like his toe is tapping or something like that, but everything else seems like he's fine and confident, but you notice the toe tap, it's like, okay.
Melly will take this opportunity to flip her cloak around so she looks a little more fancy.
Nice. So you have your cloak with the cow print facing outward, and the nice trim that Mac was able to bedazzle for you before you took on the guise of Lady Melinda.
But there's
Indeed.
no iconography about the assembly, is there? Okay.
No, we took that off. Like I specifically was
Yeah.
like, we're gonna take that.
After probably a good 6 minutes of waiting, um, you hear, "You may enter." And Carrick just kind of looks at all of you with a okay, all right, this is it, be cool. And he opens the gates, and part of me wants to say, and we'll pick up from here next week, but I won't do that to you guys because we have 15 minutes left. So the gates are held open, and it's kind of like a long room, and there's a throne at the front, and a little bit of a small staircase to get up to. Sitting on this throne, there's a dwarven woman. She's got, she looks exactly how you would expect a dwarf to look. She's small, she's stout. She's got a kind but unwavering way about her, where she looks like a kind soul, but not someone who you could easily take advantage of. And as you walk in, the gates are open to you. You take 4 steps forward. Carrick is kind of leading the way, and he just kind of kneels down and says, "Your Highness." She'll say, "Do you all kind of follow suit with this, or you just kind of stand back and watch him do this?"
I'm gonna
I would
follow
absolutely
suit.
bow. Yeah.
Oh yes.
This man bows or
Absolutely.
kneels. Yeah.
I follow suit also.
Same. Definitely not
Alright.
saying anything though. Completely
Okay.
silent.
Going to
Totally
be back
fine.
in one moment. I can hear you.
Do you want us to wait? I'm gonna wait anyway, because he doesn't have his mic on his headset. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
He doesn't need to say anything. We can do. We
No,
can
we're fine. I
handle
can hear you
this
the whole time.
part.
It's fine.
So she'll just kind of say to you, she'll stand up off of the throne she was sitting on, and she'll just say, "Carrick, you can get up. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it." She'll kind of stand up slowly and kind of look back at the 4 of you, and he'll say, "Thank you, Johannes." Say, of course. So what brings you here today? I know you probably called every favor in the book. I don't think I've seen these 3 before, but that one looks a little familiar. She points to Vale.
Vale will. I guess we're all standing at this point.
If you're following Carrick, then yeah.
Yeah. Vale will bow. You do me an honor, Your Highness. Thank you.
And what might your name be?
My name is Valenthinius. I am. He just nods over to Carrick. I am Carrick's brother.
Okay, all right. That would be why you look so familiar. You're in good company. Your brother's a good man.
Yes, he is.
And the other three of you? I am Queen Simone Fronast, one of the leaders of the diarchy of Uthodurn. Carrick looks back at you guys like,
My name is Benilde McAllister.
is that the first time that all of you heard Benilde?
That
No.
No, I think that was
that's the same name that I used for Freeman.
yeah.
Okay.
It is the first time we've heard McAllister, though.
Yes.
She kind of gives you a nod.
And I am called Echo of Bysay Steel, Your Highness. And he'll bow.
Hi. My name is Melly. Your Majesty. She'll do like a very, very, very exaggerated curtsy and bow at the same time.
She'll, at the sight of that, she just kind of chuckles to herself. Millie, where do you hail from? And do you have a family name?
I do. I hail from the Menagerie Coast in the Plum Groves, and my family name is Planter.
You've all come from very far. So, what brings you here today?
Well, Your Highness, first and foremost, as a token of appreciation for taking this audience, we actually brought a gift for you. And he just turns to get the bag of holding from Melly.
What do you say?
Yes, I thought it would be something. Well, I thought you might get a kick out of this, actually. And
Oh
well,
my.
probably with the help of Melly and or Carrick, gets the cask of Frost Giant Fury out from the bag of holding.
She, like, at the sight of that, like, she kind of, like, her eyes widen. She walks a little bit closer and kind of, like, leans and looks in at it. And she's like, well, would you look at this? Carrick, your brother's a bit of a smooth operator, isn't he?
Memory serves me, I believe you're fond of ales, and this is one of the finest UPAs around.
It is. It's, what with everything going on in the capital, I have not had time to go out and get some of it myself, and it's a seasonal, so I know I would miss it. And she kind of just calls and you know, she has a ward who just runs right up, and she says, go get the 6 cups. And you know, very quickly after, old gentleman returns with 6 chalices, and yeah, they open up and and start pouring, and each of you are given a little chalice filled with Frost Giant's Fury. Say, well, I know this probably cost you a good amount of money, so this must be pretty important. So, what brings you here?
Well, it is important. We are aware of the unusual circumstances surrounding the lockdown, at least with public knowledge. But it is quite urgent that we get to any gestures to echo what I say is teal. So we were hoping if Your Majesty would find us in her favor to grant us the use of a teleportation circle. We realize that is not a small thing to ask. But I wouldn't ask if it was not important.
Yeah. It is very interesting.
She starts pacing, drinking her drink. And Carrick will just chime in. Your Majesty, I do apologize for bothering you with this. I saw my friends here, and we actually traveled back here together, and I promised them that they could use the teleportation circle, and then, of course, right after we arrived, so did the Kryn. So, if there's any way possible, if you know me, Your Majesty, I've as a glassblade, I've gone on many a mission for you and for King Talvia. If you could help me fulfill a promise that I've made to my brother and his friends, I would be in your debt. And she'll take another. And her glass is now empty. And she'll just start walking down back to the cask and just say,
Yes, I do know you're a man of your word. Probably eats at you that you're not able to fulfill the promise, but if it were up to me, you give me a cask of ale, I would happily send you on your way. But my counterpart, Emathin, he says it fit to make sure that the borders stay closed, so we would have to do... He won't be convinced with a simple cask of ale.
and she continues walking down and actually it fills up her chalice herself this time. And is anyone else drinking, by the way?
You know Mac is.
Mel would be sipping. He'd be nursing it a little bit, but you know.
Okay.
On a side note, I feel like you didn't actually explain who all we see in here. Like guards. Obviously, there was the ward that you said.
Mhm.
What all is around?
So
in
there's
this
a
room.
There's a couple like servants nearby, some seating along the sides, and there are guards in this room as well. The throne is kind of like facing out. It's like a long hall, and actually behind it there's a window, and you're able to see out like into the city, and you could see into the marketplace district, and far out you're able to get a very nice view of everything there. But there's probably, I'd say 12 guards, each of them with halberds, and looks like some sort of sword, probably a short sword on their belt, and in a hilt, you know, or in a sheath. And not the guy who is outside, he's actually not present in this conversation. The guy who kind of gave Carrick a hard time right at the front. But yeah, it's her, a couple of servants, and 12 guards.
I will just continue drinking my ale.
Okay. Was Echo and Melly drinking?
Echo for sure is trying to drink it, mostly because he understands that he can't not do that. Not understands. He feels like he can't not.
Yeah.
Royalty poured him a drink. He's not going to not drink it. So
Hmm.
he is, and he hates it.
Is it like visible that he hates it?
I think that would require a roll. I think I'm not sure if he would be able to hide it. I guess a Constitution save of some kind would probably make sense.
It's either
Or-
Constitution or performance.
The Constitution
Performance
deception
probably
check.
makes.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
What the
Oh,
heck?
interesting.
Who would
A
have ever thought-
Constitution deception check.
who would
Well, I
have
mean, I
ever
don't get
thought that
proficiency on
combo
that anyway.
existed.
Yeah. I don't get any bonuses to either of those, so that's just a +1. It's a 5, so no, he doesn't hide it.
So
very
you're
well.
kind of like making faces as you're drinking it, but
Mhm.
you're like,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Melly.
Melly is not drinking her drink, but it's more so because she's like so like hyper focused on the queen that like she kind of like forgets that she's got her drink in her hand. Like she's just like holding it like a prop.
So as she walks over and she's filling up her second cup now, she makes eye contact with Echo and she'll just kind of laugh for a second and just say,
Echo, was it
Yes, Your Majesty.
a little strong for your taste?
Yes, more of a porter man myself.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You come from a different port. But if you grew up here and you're more of a porter man, I don't know. I might not trust you.
you could tell that she's like, she is trying to be friendly with
Mhm.
you, and like she sees that all of you are very uncomfortable and she's trying to make you feel a little bit more. Maybe Mac's not very uncomfortable, but everyone else seems very uncomfortable. She's trying to help with that a little bit.
Yeah, you see a visible change in Echo's body language over the course of that exchange, because she's just talking like a person.
Yeah.
Treating Echo like a person, which is a refreshing thing.
And she'll kind of, when she takes another sip, looks at Carrick and just says, well, you know that all of the glass blades are meant to stay in the city right now for the safety of everything going on. But we have had that problem. And in fact, we lost another goat just yesterday. I think I would be able to grant you passage through one of our teleportation circles, and also give you a reward of 200 gold if you go up north and you take care of that damn dragon who's been coming way too close for comfort. The 5 of you can go. That way we're not sparing any more glass blades, just the one. Do you think you could lead this group, Carrick? Just say, like, Your Highness, I
don't know all of them well, but I can speak. Well, actually, they helped me take care of some goblins on the way here. They're all very competent. And he kind of looks at you guys.
Your Majesty, you have yet to fully meet the talented Angaran. He just smiles real wide. He just like looks over at his brother, smirks, gives a little wink. And just says,
I like this one. I do.
But a dragon is no small task. Is there any other information you can give us?
Well, I know
Hmm?
he's
I just say, do you know how long this has been? This dragon has been around.
cannot tell you his age. I know he's only just recently been coming towards these areas, maybe within the last 3 weeks or so, something like that. Frankly, I just can't spare the manpower right now to go up and get him. But if you could travel up north, take care of him, well, I'd very much appreciate it. Obviously, you'll get your reward, and you'll be able to travel safely to Bicey Steel.
At this point, Mac finishes his and then kind of just like starts to kind of like walk a little bit towards the cask and do you mind to see if he can refill his drink?
I'll say, you know what? Help yourself. But I'm
Starts
going
to
to take that
refill
as a
his-
yes.
goes to starts to refill his drink and goes, the going rate for dragons is usually between 300 and 500, and since we don't have much information on this dragon, I feel like we should probably get compensated at least 350. Finishes filling the drink. Takes a little sip of it.
She'll look at you and say, the going rate is usually the borders being closed until it's safe to open them again. If you're trying to shake someone down for more money, you would be better off going up to the Frost Giants. I'm sure they're having problems with this dragon as well. Maybe you could squeeze something out of them. I've offered you a fair deal.
You can see Mac is taking a minute, and the wheels are just going in his head at this point.
If anyone's looking at Kyrick, he is mortified that Max just said that.
Val looks a little mortified too.
You want to talk about shaking down when you're wanting us to go hunt down a dragon when you've closed the borders?
By all means, you're welcome to stay.
Mac takes a sip of his drink.
She kind of looks at Vale and looks at Kyrick, displeased.
What kind of a trophy would you like when we come back? The head? The pelt?
As far as I'm concerned, you could keep everything. Just bring proof that he's dead.
You have been more than gracious with us during a very tense time, Your Majesty. Please know that it is very appreciated. Vel kind of just turns and shoots Mac a little bit of a little bit of a glare. Not a glare, but like a dude kind of a look.
There's like a booming silence in the room.
Vel sips his beer some more. Is there
She walks-
anyone else we should coordinate with the more details upon where this dragon has been sighted, or its color, anything?
It is wet. If it's something you're planning on doing, all arrangements can be made.
Could you say that again? I'm sorry.
If this is something that you're going to do, all of the arrangements can be made for you.
All right. Vel just looks at the rest of the group. He gives like a little nod, like I'm in.
Echo just nods yes.
Melly hasn't stopped looking at the queen. She's just been like eyes locked the entire time.
If she I guess if that's happening for a while, I think she would notice that. She kind of meets your gaze, kind of raises an eye, like,
Melly smiles really
Miss-
wide.
Miss Planter,
Yes, Your
Is everything-
Majesty.
is everything okay?
Yep. And then Melly looks at her feet.
she looks at you. You would see the queen looks at Carrick, like,
Val kind of lowers his voice. Melly, Mac.
If it's what we gotta do.
We're in.
says, it's like, I would go with him and take full responsibility for this expedition. It will be done right, Your Majesty. Thank you for this kindness you've shown us. He kind of does a little bit. She'll just say,
All right. Well, if you're able to get this done, then I'll be the one thanking you. You could take the rest of the night, and I'll make sure you have everything you need to be on your way tomorrow in the morning.
Melly will curtsy and say, "Thank you for this opportunity, Your Majesty."
you nods her head to you. And she's sitting down in the chair, got throne.
I concur. Thank you very much for your time, Your Majesty. It's very much appreciated, and we will dispose of this beast. Yeah, just looks at Carrick.
kind of bows and starts walking backwards. And she's like, "You can be in the other way." And he turns, and the guards open up the doors, and he begins to walk out.
Vale puts his chalice down next to the cask. Bows and follows suit.
Echo
Ellie
does
does the same thing.
Mac leaves his next to Vale's and just leaves.
And we'll pick up from there next week.
Okay. Dragon.
A dragon.
We did see a dragon when we were by the goblin camp.
Everybody,
Oh boy.
thank you for joining us tonight. We had a lot of fun. It's great seeing so many faces in chat, and it was moving too. It's always fun talking to you all. If you want to catch up on past episodes, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those things. Check out YouTube, youtube.com. Well, just type in YouTube Raindrop Roleplay. It'll come up. Or you can go to youtube.com/JnJ Tabletop, and we have our playlist there as well as all of the fun and wonderful, crazy things that Jake and I do on a weekly basis over there. So, hope to see you soon. Please drop us a follow or send us a message or anything like that. If this is something you like, or if you have any questions, feel free to pop in our Discord and drop a line there, or send us a message on literally any of the things, and we'll be happy to talk to you about it. But otherwise, we'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great night and a safe week.